Joining us now is Mike Olson. He's senior research analyst and managing director at Piper Jaffray. He's got an overweight on Apple and a $243 price target. Mike, what are your expectations for the pricing of these devices?
Yeah, well, I think Josh put it pretty well that tomorrow's event should be relatively lackluster as far as just new features. And I think the pricing is going to be just about the same as what it has been for the existing devices. There has been a rumor of potentially a lower price device. You know, the company dropped the iPhone SE a couple of years ago, and I think there's a good chance that they will come out with a lower price device. I just don't know if it'll be announced tomorrow, but I think we will see something like that in 2020. They need to kind of capture some of that international market share that is typically at a lower price point.
You know, you say lackluster, and you also mentioned the fact that the last major iPhone upgrade cycle was for the 6 Plus, which was in 2015. So that's ancient history at this point. The 10, all those phones last year, I mean, the shares are still down from their 52-week high. You know, what's it going to take for them to move the needle at this point? And why haven't we got more detail about a TV Plus service that some reports say could be launching in a month or two?
Well, I think the big thing as far as the stock moving is really going to be kind of 5G as it continues to get crafted into the investor narrative over the next few months. And it already has to some degree, but that's what we're really focused on, is less about tomorrow. We kind of want to just honestly get tomorrow out of the way so that we can start focusing more on 5G, which will be really the next major upgrade cycle since the 6 Plus, as you mentioned. As far as Apple TV Plus, our expectation is that's going to be fairly immaterial to the story for some time and possibly forever. Our expectation there is we're not going to see a lot in the way of incremental new content to really push people to shift from different services. Now, if it's a situation where we have multiple services that people are subscribing to, which will be the case, Apple may be one of them, but it's probably not going to be one of the top services.
Sounds like these phones are really going to be snoozers, Mike. I mean, I'm just wondering, what is Apple's strategy then for launching this phone when everybody knows 5G, the next upgrade cycle, that's going to be the main event?
Yeah, I think it's a good point, is that you may have a situation here where people look out to next year, and as more awareness is rising, and speaking of awareness, we did a couple surveys of more than 1,000 iPhone users in the U.S., and we asked them if they're interested in buying a 5G phone next year at something like a $1,200 price point, and we found that more than 20% of iPhone users are interested in such a thing. So as awareness rises related to that, and as these phones are relatively lackluster, near-term iPhone units are unlikely to be dramatically positive. But we do think that services and non-iPhone devices can kind of help build a bridge to next year's 5G iPhone release.
Josh, one more time, because I'm thick. What is the attraction of a 5G phone? What is it going to enable me to do that I can't do now on my Android or my Apple phone?
So there's a couple reasons, and I actually read Mike's research. I thought some of the survey work he did with U.S. iPhone users just showing, I think Mike said about a quarter of them are already interested in 5G, so there is interest there. In terms for a smartphone, what's going to allow you to do, Tyler, is really two things. One, you get those ultra-fast download speeds, but also lower latency. What that means is you get faster connections. That's going to be a big deal, Tyler, for gamers.
For gamers who are
yourself.
like me. Yeah. But the latency question is multiple users trying to get through the same pipe at the same time. Is that what? Do I understand that correctly, Josh?
Well, so lower latency means just a faster connection, so there's less hiccups. So it has attraction, Tyler, for a number of things. I pointed out gamers just because that's front and center. I mean, listen, I think Mike is right. It is muted for what we're going to see this year. I actually caught up just to put some numbers on this with Gene Munster over at Loop Ventures. He's actually estimating when you look at total iPhone units in that all-important holiday quarter, he thinks you're going to see 63.5 million. That would actually be down 1% from the year ago. I think Gene agrees a lot with Mike that a lot of investors, they're already turning their attention to what we're going to see 12 months from now, guys.
Are we going to be disappointed, Mike, when it comes to Apple's calendar year fourth quarter like we were last year? I mean, if the phones are going to be lackluster and people are waiting for the 5G upgrade, we've got softness potentially in China, definitely softness in Hong Kong based on what is going on there. I mean, are we just sort of setting up for a repeat of last year's holiday quarter?
You know, that's a possibility, but I think the difference this year is that you'll probably see Apple getting to some degree a free pass from a lot of investors who are just saying, you know what, we really don't care about the next couple of quarters because we're really so focused on the 5G phones coming next year.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.